My name is Emi Tsujioka. I'm a 27-year-old stay-at-home wife. Today, I'd like to tell you about an incident that happened between my husband, my mother-in-law, and me. Back in college, I got a license to become a dietitian. So when I graduated, I started working at a food processing company. I met my husband Yoshihiro around then through a mutual friend. And when I turned 26 years old, Yoshihiro proposed to me and we decided to get married. And with that obviously came this. Hey, I'm picking out the gifts now, but what should I get? What does your mom like?
Just a snack or something is fine.
This is my first time meeting her. I can't half-ass this.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal. You're just stopping by to say hi.
What are you talking about? You know my friend's relationship with the in-laws was so bad that she got a divorce.
Oh, my mom isn't like that at all. Trust me, things won't get to that.
But I want to leave a good first impression regardless, so just tell me what your mom would like.
I don't know. She's never been into fashion or food or anything like that. She's always been a work-first type of person.
Then what am I supposed to get her?
She does like to read, though.
Really? What kind of books does she read?
Like long ones, without pictures.
Thanks a lot for that. This was me the day before I went to greet my new husband's mother-in-law. As you can see, I was quite nervous. Yoshihiro's mother, Sakato, raised Yoshihiro all on her own, and she has quite the reputation. While she was raising Yoshihiro, she stayed at a company by herself and grew it to success. Even now at 55 years old, she's still working as her company's CEO and is full of energy. No wonder why an average housewife like me was intimidated by a person like that. And so, I made my way to my in-laws' place to find out what kind of person Miss Sakato was. All you need to do is read the messages she sent me a few days after we met. Thank you so much for visiting me the other day. I was wondering what kind of person would even consider marrying that little scum, but imagine my surprise when a young and beautiful lady like you came knocking on my door. No, the pleasure was all mine, Miss Sakato. And thank you for preparing that gorgeous meal for us. Honestly, I was quite relieved to find out that you were so down to earth. Oh, thank you. You really know how to flatter someone. No, I really mean it. Oh, stop. You're making me blush. And we're family now, so no need to be so formal. Please, call me Satoko. Sure, Satoko. This feels so refreshing. I've always wanted a daughter. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Yep. If you need anything, don't be afraid to ask. Miss Satoko was a beautiful, energetic woman who didn't look a day older than 40. But despite that, she was down to earth, kind, and everything you could ask for in a person. And so, I was able to get along with her quite well, and was relieved to get off to a good start with her. With the wedding behind us, Yoshihiro and I officially began our married life. For the time being, we decided that I'd continue working at the office. But one day, when I was leaving for work after leaving the night's dinner from my husband...
Hey, about today's dinner.
Yeah, I left it on the table.
I saw, but you expect me to eat this?
What do you mean?
Imagine my disappointment when I come home tired from work to grilled salmon and miso soup.
Isn't that a pretty standard combination? Did you not like it?
I feel like eating steak tonight. This is what old people eat for breakfast. I can't eat this for dinner.
So, what would you have wanted instead?
Maybe a meatloaf or katsu would have been nice. And you don't have to prepare this many dishes.
I was only thinking about what's healthy for you. And overeating isn't good either.
That's not for you to worry about, is it?
Sorry, but you're in your 30s now. I think you should start taking your health a bit more seriously.
Oh, it's fine. I haven't changed much since I was in my 20s. So please, make something that'll get me more excited next time.
Alright, sure.
I'll Uber something tonight, so don't forget what I say.
As I said to my husband after getting married, I tried to cook healthy meals for both him and me. But apparently, that didn't sit well with him. Even before we got married, My husband would always order meat-centric plates that seemed very greasy and unhealthy. I just dismissed it as boys being boys. But his preference of food was way worse than I had ever imagined. This wasn't the first time he complained to me about the stuff that I cooked for him. By the way, the reason he was like this was because... So, how are you enjoying married life? Thanks to you, it's going great. I hope my son isn't being too difficult. Well, that goes both ways, so we'll figure it out. But I did want to ask you one thing. Yeah, go ahead. Yoshihiro. He's the type of guy that has a lot of likes and dislikes when it comes to food, but... was he always like that? That partly was my fault. When he was still a kid, there were a lot of days where I couldn't come home from the office in time for dinner. On those days, I always asked my mom to cook dinner for him. And you know how grandparents are. Oh, so she cooked whatever Yoshihiro wanted to eat? Exactly. So I've got to apologize to you. If he's making a big fuss out of things, please, just tell him to cook his meals on his own. Even though that was what my mother-in-law said, I was never the kind of person to cause any arguments with others. I had no choice but to listen to him. But things got worse as our life as a married couple continued. For example, he would sometimes ask me to pick him up at the bar at past midnight since the train stopped running for the night. Or he would buy expensive gold clubs without consulting me at all. He did whatever he wanted around the house. But when Miss Satako or my parents were around, he was a completely different person. But I felt like telling them about what he was actually like around the house was a bit unfair. By far, the worst thing about him, though, was the chores. At first, we decided that I would be the one to do the cooking, and he would take care of the cleaning. Everything else we were to split equally, but... Hey, our house has been a mess for a bit now. When was the last time you cleaned it?
Oh, give me a break! I've been really busy with work. I'll take care of everything when things settle down.
It doesn't matter how busy you are. Dust and dirt will keep on piling until you clean it.
What, are you mad at me or something?
I'm not mad. I just want you to follow the rules that we decided when we got married.
I told you I'm busy with work. What am I supposed to do?
I'm busy with work too. But I haven't left you to starve, and I've done most of the other chores around the house as well.
Well, you can't compare my job with yours. I bet it's completely different.
It might be at different companies, but we both essentially work the same hours.
But I'm a man. I have more responsibilities than you.
Are you for real right now? I can't believe you would say something like that when you have someone like your mother in your life.
My mom's an exception. And besides, we gotta look reality in the eye. Japan's still a patriarchy. A man's job is infinitely more important than a woman's, right?
Oh, whatever. We can talk about that some other time. Just please do your part. I don't care how busy you are. You could at least take out the trash every morning. But I'm the one doing it every day.
Oh, it's just taking out the trash. Stop making such a big deal out of it.
Then you do it. You never do the laundry or go buy our groceries too.
I don't see a problem if everything is getting done. Besides, chores are a woman's kind of thing anyway.
You close-minded idiot. You're still 30, right? You're starting to sound like a boomer.
Hey, you better watch your tone!
And just like that, we had our first fight as a married couple. But my husband was unwilling to accept his shortcomings, and our fight just dissolved into silent contempt. And after that, we became a bit distant from one another. I couldn't force my husband to do his share of the chores, so I had no choice but to do it all on my own. I was working full-time at the time, so it was very difficult to balance that with doing all of the chores. I was losing a lot of sleep around then. And my husband didn't show any signs of changing his behavior. If I served him something he found underwhelming at dinner, he would get visibly irritated. Because life went on like this for quite a while, one day I caught a cold.
Are you home already?
Yeah.
Good! I'm thinking of inviting my colleagues over for dinner tonight. Could you prepare drinks and some appetizers for us? Oh yeah, but don't make any of that healthy stuff that you always make. I've got to leave a good impression on them.
Wait, you can't have them over today.
Why? It's my house. I can bring home whoever I want.
Our house? Oh, whatever. Just don't bring them to the house today. I've got a pretty bad cold, and I got home from work early today because of it.
Really? then you don't need to cook anything complicated for us.
You really think I was going to say yes to that? I've got a terrible fever, and I physically can't cook or do whatever it is you want me to do for your colleagues.
What? I already told them that I'd let them have some of the stuff you cooked.
Cold or not, don't tell me you're bringing people home the day of.
All right, fine. We'll go out and drink for a bit, so just take a nap or something.
I thought for a split second that he might rush back home and take care of me, but I should have known that was never going to happen. I couldn't believe that he had the audacity to complain to me about not being able to bring his colleagues home. I was on the verge of bursting into tears. Is this what married life was supposed to be like? But a few hours later, my husband texted me and told me something I couldn't believe.
Are you still not feeling well?
Yeah, my fever hasn't gone down.
Then I'll stay over at my colleague's place for a bit until you feel better.
What?
Well, you have a fever, and that means you might have the flu. I really can't have you spreading it to me. Not right now.
I can't even prepare a meal on my own. Are you telling me to get by on my own?
Yeah, it'll be a win-win situation for both of us, right?
Whatever. That was the straw that finally broke the camel's back for me. I couldn't bear to spend another minute of my life with this man. Anyway, I managed to heal myself in one night through sheer willpower. The next day, I went to City Hall to get divorce papers, which I signed immediately and left on the table. After packing my things, I left the house. My husband texted me a few times to ask how I was doing, but I ignored all of it until he saw the divorce papers. A few days later...
What the hell is this? You ignore all of my texts, and now you've left the house?
I didn't respond to any of your texts, but you didn't think to come home until now? You really don't care about me, do you?
That's beside the point right now. What the hell is this? Divorce papers?
It's exactly what it looks like. Just sign the papers and turn it in for me.
You thought it would be that easy? How selfish are you?
Right back at you. You were supposed to take care of things around the house.
You're a woman, and doing chores is a woman's job.
Who taught you that bull crap?
Anyway, we'll talk this through once you get back.
Nope, I'm not coming back there. Oh, and also, your mother is with me, and she's watching this conversation.
What?
That's right. When I left the house, I didn't go back to my parents' place. I actually went to my mother-in-law's. When she heard about what happened, she was furious. And when she saw the way her son spoke to me, she immediately texted her son herself. I saw everything. Way to treat your wife, huh?
It's just a fight. I had to stick up for myself, you know? I didn't mean all of it.
When I heard Emmy tell her side of the story, I was a bit skeptical, but I guess I didn't raise you right.
Mom, it's all right. We're just having a fight, that's all. There's no need for you to step in.
Not the way I see it. What you did and said to your wife was disgusting. Your father always treated me like that, and that's why we got a divorce. I can't believe my own son is doing the exact same thing to his wife.
Calm down!
Calm down. I am calm, so I'm going to give you a punishment that fits the crime. Pack your things and leave the house now. Turns out, the apartment that we had been living in was owned by my mother-in-law. It's in a good location in the heart of the city and close to both of our offices. But because of this incident, my husband lost his right to live in it. If that wasn't enough, I managed to win a hefty amount of money in damages in court. Not only that, his mother cut financial ties with him so that none of her money would go to him in the future. And so, Yoshihiro is now forced to work his ass off every day, rain and sunshine, to pay off the debt he's incurred. Meanwhile, I was scouted by my mother-in-law to work at her company. Though we aren't family anymore, we still work closely with each other at the office. My name is Nano Nomaru, and I'm 36 years old. This is my husband, Soraro. And right here's my daughter, Sakura, who's turning 10 this year. Until now, we three lived quite a distance away from where his parents lived. But right as our daughter was going up into 4th grade, my husband was transferred to a branch close by his parents' place. That was when my husband told me this. Move in with them?
Yeah, that'll be better for you too, don't you think?
Wait. You told me we wouldn't ever have to move in with your parents when we got married.
Was that so?
Yeah, and you know your mom doesn't really like me, right?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I'm sure she's softened up with age.
Did you not see what happened between us last winter? As you can probably guess, my mother-in-law and I aren't very compatible. And so, I've tried my best up until this point to avoid interacting with her. But she always insists on seeing her granddaughter at least once a year, so we would always go and visit them around New Year's. And the last time we went to visit them, this happened. Boy, you've aged so much since we last met. That's the first thing you say to me after not seeing each other for a year?
Right? Well, she's almost in her 40s, so I guess no wonder, huh?
And why the hell are you backing her up? I guess she's showing her age then. Says you? You look like you already belong in a coffin yourself.
Mom, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Come on now, prepare some tea for us, would you?
Damn it, fine. And with that, they, which of course includes my husband, let all of the cooking to me and never even bothered to ask if they could help. They would even make me pour the glasses when the bottle was on the table right in front of them. When I was busy, they started asking Sakura to pour their glasses. She's barely 10, and my husband wouldn't even step in to stop her. I've already given up on my mother-in-law, but you? Seriously?
Hey, Sakura, don't you think this hair is in your way? No, it's alright. I'm trying to grow it out. But if you keep your long hair, you're gonna end up looking like your mom. That's no good, is it? But I need to tie my hair at ballet practice, so I need it to be long. Come on, look at Nana. She looks good in short hair. So how about cutting it like that, huh? I told you I don't want to. They won't let me perform on stage. You never listen like a certain someone.
Soon after, my daughter came crying to me and told me about what her grandmother had said to her. I was at my breaking point, and I had enough. So I headed to the living room to give her a word or two, but the two were already fast asleep, letting out their massive snores. I thought about drugging and killing both of them, but I managed to calm myself down. That day, we stayed over at their place. The next day, after the two finally sobered up, I made my way to the living room again to voice my complaints, but my daughter is trying her best to take care of her hair to be up on stage, and your comments last night were out of line.
Huh? Did I really say something like that yesterday?
Yes, you did. You made Sakura cry, you know.
Oh my god, stop being so obnoxious. I have a bad hangover. I don't need you to make it any worse. Alright, fine. I was wrong. Sorry.
Do you really mean that?
She apologized, Nano. Let it go.
Yeah, so much for treating your elders with respect. What kind of daughter-in-law does that?
It's always like that with you. Why are you on her side? Oh, I'm going on for too long. My bad. I'm still not over what happened. Anyway, my husband was suggesting moving in with his parents despite all of this. So there's no way I am ever going to agree with moving in with my in-laws. But when my mother-in-law heard about my husband's transfer, she was convinced that we would be moving in with her. But when my husband told her that we wouldn't be moving into her place...
Nano, take over from me.
What?
What do you mean you're not moving in? We're gonna be so close to each other.
It's exactly what it sounds like. I haven't forgotten about what happened last winter, you know. But she wouldn't stop complaining, so I just decided to hang up on her. Why'd you even hand it over to me, you idiot?
Ow! What the hell?
I only did what you did earlier. But even though I was able to avoid the worst case scenario, my husband still managed to mess things up. It happened around a week after we moved into our new apartment and when things started settling down. After work, I came home to this. What the hell? Did we get robbed? Seriously? Our first week here? Where's Sakura?
My god, keep it down.
What the?
You have neighbors, don't you? Keep it down.
Mom?
Ew.
What are you doing here? Wait, how'd you even get in?
With the spare key, obviously.
A spare key?
I told Sorao to make one for me.
Wait, why do I not know about any of this?
Why do I need permission from you to get into my son's place?
Why? Because I live here too!
Mom.
Sakura?
Phew.
And how do you explain the state this room is in? We just finished cleaning up.
I didn't really like the layout of the room, so I thought I would help you by rearranging things.
Rearranging? You just messed everything up.
What? I just needed more time, that's all. I was trying to help you. Why are you so ungrateful? Fine then, just arrange this back to the ugly layout you somehow decided on.
What? At least help me clean things up.
Boo-hoo! Sorry, Mom. I tried to stop her, but...
It's not your fault. I've had enough. Soaro, come back now.
What? Why?
Look at this.
What the? What happened? Did we get robbed?
It's your mom.
What? Mom? Why would she?
Because you gave her the keys to this place without even telling me.
But she told me she wanted one and I couldn't refuse.
At least tell me first.
Oh, come on, give me a break. And I'm sure Mom didn't mean any harm.
Are you serious? Are we looking at the same picture?
She only meant to help.
You delusional idiot. Just come home and help me clean all of this.
Why? I just got off work. I'm exhausted.
I came home from work to this. Try to be in my shoes for once.
No, I'm gonna stay over at my parents' place tonight.
What?
So clean it up before I get back.
Why in the world would I do that?
'Cause I'm bad at cleaning.
Hey, Soaro! Hey! That pickle-headed idiot!
It's okay, Mom. I'll help.
I'm sorry, Sakura. And so we stayed up till midnight that night to clean the mess that my mother-in-law left us. We were so exhausted by the time we were done. I was obviously furious at my mother-in-law who caused all of this. But I had also had enough with my husband who continued to have her back. Fortunately, I already had a stable job and had enough saved up to raise my daughter without the help of my husband. And with that thought in mind, I went to bed that night. But little did I know, something worse was about to happen to me.
Help!
Hearing my daughter's cry, I jumped out of my bed. Sakura, what's wrong? In front of me was my mother-in-law with scissors in her hands. And next to her sat a defeated Sakura whose long hair she had been growing out for her ballet performance was scattered on the ground, all cut up and torn.
You look just like Nana now.
What the hell do you think you're doing? In a moment of pure rage, I leapt onto my mother-in-law and pushed her onto the bed.
Oh, you're hurting me. Stop.
Do you know what you just did to your granddaughter? You just cut off the hair that she's been taking care of for months.
I was just trying to make her prettier.
My mother-in-law's breath stinked of alcohol. Turns out, she came over to my apartment drunk. I immediately called my husband. He wouldn't answer the first few calls, but I kept calling him until he picked up, and eventually...
Don't you see what time it is? What do you want? I already told you I'm not helping you clean.
Your idiot mother is here and wreaking havoc. Come pick her up.
Huh? Mom? What's she doing there?
If you're not coming, I'm calling the cops on her. I must have been intimidating enough, as when he heard how serious I was, my husband drove back to the apartment. Take the keys away from your mother. She came here in the middle of the night and cut Sakura's hair. I thought this would be the last straw that finally broke the camel's back for my husband, but...
Oh, stop making such a big fuss over this. It's just hair. It'll grow back.
You know what? Forget it.
Oh, I see you've cleaned the place up. Going back is gonna be a hassle, so I guess I'll sleep here now.
Get out.
What the? Nano! Open the door, Nano!
I'm so sorry, Sakura. Let us go to the barber first thing in the morning and see what we could do about your hair.
I've had enough with Nana. Daddy, too.
Sakura.
Let's show them hell, Mom.
She was right. Getting a divorce wouldn't be enough. All right then, let's do it. And so, We made an alliance to take revenge on my mother-in-law and husband. Every Friday since the incident, my husband made his way to his parents' place and drowned himself in the drinks and snacks that his mother had prepared for him. And every Friday, my mother-in-law would drunkenly make her way to our place and wreak havoc onto our lives. My daughter and I decided to use this habit to our advantage. Everything ends next Friday. Just you wait.
Hey, Nana's here. Look at this miserable house. It looks like I have to rearrange the furniture for them again. Huh? I thought I cut your hair just a few weeks ago. How'd it grow out so fast? Hey, why are you ignoring me? Can't even greet me properly. What is your mother even teaching you? What? You saw me? No! Stop! Wait! Stop! Please don't come near me! Please! Ugh. I was just wearing my clothes backwards. And this is a wig. And this on my mouth is ketchup. I hope Mom's doing well on her end.
Meanwhile, I was at my in-laws' place sneaking up on my husband who was fast asleep.
Mom? What are you doing?
Just cutting your hair, honey.
What? Huh? Nano? Whoa! What the hell is this?
Don't move, all right? I'm just going to cut every single strand of your hair on your body for you.
Stop! You're going to hurt me!
So, it's like that, huh? You're gonna let your mother cut your daughter's hair, but you won't let me cut yours?
My hair's gonna end up being all weird! I've got work tomorrow, you know?
What are you talking about? I'm not cutting any of the hair on your head.
Huh? Then what are you cutting?
I told you, your body hair.
Wait, Nano, let's talk about this! Come on, Nano!
I've never cut hair in this area, so I wonder if I'll do well. Oh, make sure you don't move. I might cut you on accident if you do.
Stop, Nano, please! No! No!
It's all right. It'll all grow back soon. Hair, I mean.
No!
Did he really think I was gonna touch his pubic hair? I felt bad about leaving him like that, so I unlocked his handcuffs and headed home. Sakura, I'm home!
Mom, how'd it go?
Showed him hell.
Me too.
Alright, let's go.
Yep.
With that, we left our house and headed to my parents' place. I had already told them about how things were back home, so they didn't ask any questions and took us in with open arms. The next day, my mother-in-law called me and shouted at me furiously, but what you did was a crime. You cut my poor daughter's hair without my or her permission. If you're gonna keep making a fuss about what we did, we're gonna contact the police about what you did. When I told her all of that, she started crying nonsensically. And I'm filing for divorce with your oh-so-precious son. Congratulations! Now, you don't have to see my ugly face around anymore. But we're gonna sue you for emotional damage that you've both caused to my daughter and me. So prepare yourself. And with that, I hung up. Soon after, I filed for a divorce with my husband through a lawyer. I also managed to secure $20,000 in damages and $500 worth of child support every month. I heard that my mother-in-law was furious at this and demanded her son to sue us back, but apparently he was so scared of being retaliated against again that...
If I did something like that, she'll cut it off for real this time!
And just like that, he agreed to our terms. As for us, we're currently living with my parents. Sakura is attending a school near the house. Sorry about your ballet performance, Sakura. I wanted to let you go up on stage, but...
No, it's okay. I'll go to a different ballet school here and we'll start over. That's okay, right?
Yeah, of course. And so my daughter started growing her hair out again. I told myself I'll never let anything like that happen to her ever again. By the way, since my husband's mother can neither cook, clean, or do laundry to save her life, my husband, who now lives with her, is utterly miserable. Things were fine when he was visiting for a day or two every other week, but living there was a whole different story. It took him a long time to realize his mother was a useless old hag. Well, I hope he finally learns how to do chores around his house because of this. I, for one, do not care at all what happens to them. From now on, it's me and my daughter against the world.
My name is Yuki. I'm a junior university student. I've never thought I could become a university student. Not in my wildest dreams. My mother's a single parent, and ever since I was little, I've only lived with my mom. Despite this, my mom doesn't like me. She often says, "You're good for nothing. Get a job. Give me some money." Even worse, when she gets drunk, she throws things at me, saying, "I wish you'd never been born." So I try my best to stop her doing it. She doesn't have a job, but whenever she gets any money, she goes to pachinko and gambles our money away. Naturally, she was against me continuing my education even when I was in junior high school. But every time she said it, I explained to her that eventually, university graduates go on to earn more money. I managed to persuade her so I could go to university on a student loan. For me to be independent, I worked part-time and studied hard. While others were busy enjoying their university life, I spent my time working, preparing to leave home, so I could finally be free of my mom. I will do it! I was so determined, and it happened during the summer when I was 18.
You, become a tutor from tomorrow.
What? A tutor?
A daughter of my acquaintance is a high school junior.
Sorry, but I have a part-time job tomorrow.
Cancel it. Just quit it. Look after the girl every day.
Wait, every day? You know I work every day? I can't do that at such short notice.
You have to make it happen. You don't want to be driven out of our home, do you?
What do you mean? What does tutoring her have to do with paying the rent?
I borrowed money off of the father.
Huh?
He said it's no hurry, but he just told me to pay it back all of a sudden. Do you think we have such money to spare?
Borrowed money, you said? How much do you owe?
5 million yen.
That much?
I couldn't help it. Money is tight every month.
It's because you gamble our money away!
It's because you went to university instead of getting a job.
My fault?
Of course. That's why you need to pay back through favors instead of money.
Wait, my tutoring is not free, is it?
Of course it is.
I can't. Even though I received a student loan, I still need money for other things. How can I live with no money?
You can get a job with better money when you're not tutoring.
I'll be exhausted.
Shut up with your nonsense. Of course. You still have to give me 50,000 yen every month as always.
I still have to?
I need money for Pachiko, you fool. I let you live in the room I rent, so show me some gratitude.
I pay the rent for this apartment. The money to live on is paid by me from my part-time work. And any other money that is left, you spend on gambling and lose it all. But if I say this to her, she'll beat me black and blue. So I have to keep my mouth shut. I was forced to contact my part-time employer and ask them to change my shifts so that I can tutor the girl. I got to the house as I was told to. The house was so grand that it couldn't even be compared to my humble home.
I've been waiting.
This is the father of my student, Mr. Darashina, the person to whom my mom owes money.
It's a good thing that my daughter goes to a private high school, but her grades are not great. That's why I need your help.
Of course, sir.
I don't mean to threaten you, but if my daughter's grades don't get better, I'll want the money your mom owes me to be paid back quickly, so keep that in mind.
Huh?
I'm counting on you.
And through a back door, a high school girl came in.
This is my daughter, Rena.
What a unique face.
You've never seen a beauty like her, have you?
Yes.
Daddy, this sorry-looking guy is my tutor. Rena wanted someone handsome to be her tutor.
Don't say that. He's a very smart student at a very clever university.
So he is to become someone important?
I bet. Will you not, Yuki?
I will try my hardest.
Oh, whatever. Just make my grades better real quick then.
This is just the start of my suffering. To my great surprise, Her academic skills were on the same level as an elementary school student.
Multipliers? What's that?
How did she get into a high school?
Daddy said if I fill in forms, I can get in. So I guess he bribed someone for me to get in.
Are you happy with that?
It is super uncool to study hard.
She hated to study. She must think I can just wave some kind of magic wand to make her grades better. She doesn't do any homework or anything I tell her to do. She's either on her phone or just chatting with me. Naturally, her grades didn't get better.
What's going on? You tutor her every day, but her grades haven't changed whatsoever.
I'm very sorry to tell you this, but your daughter doesn't want to study.
It's your job to make her motivated.
Well, can you tell me where her motivation lies?
I don't know. If the result of her end-of-term exams aren't good, you will suffer the consequences.
No! I cut down my working hours because of this tutoring, so now I don't have enough money. On top of that, if he demands my mom's 5 million yen debt to be paid now, it's impossible. For a month, I did everything I could to motivate Reina, but it was pointless. Her exam results were terrible.
I told you again and again, yet you failed. You don't seem to be a good tutor.
I'm sorry. Please don't ask me to repay the debt in full straight away. I will repay in small installments.
There is a way you don't have to pay back the debt.
What? Really?
Yes, there is. If you marry my daughter, Rena, you don't have to pay anything.
What?
If you do that, you'll become my son-in-law. I can't ask my son-in-law to repay the debt, can I? Of course, I had permission from your mother, too.
You spoke to Mom?
She was delighted that her debt will be written off.
Wait a second. I'm only a university student. Rena's only a high school junior.
I heard you earn a lot from part-time jobs. You can continue doing so, and after graduation, get a good job at a big company. Reina has turned the legal age of marriage of 16, so there's no problem. At first, she was hung up about your looks, but she was moved by your persistent and caring nature. She wants the marriage. She's a girl, so I'll make her drop out of high school.
But
what is it then? Can you repay me the debt of 5 million yen right now?
I can't do that.
Then you have no choice. Welcome to the Darashina family.
What in the world has happened here? That day, I went to Reina's home in a dazed state. Then,
Yuki, are you alright?
it was the wife of the landlord who greeted me. Yes.
Out of the blue, my husband started to talk about marriage. I'm really surprised.
I'm surprised too.
Huh? I heard you were the one who insisted on marrying our daughter.
What? No way! I mean, well, Reina is an attractive girl, but I would never propose marriage to a high school student.
As I suspected, I thought something was off. Let's talk before Reina comes home.
She led me to the living room, and we talked, but we seemed to be talking about different stories.
What? You have not been paid for the tutoring?
No, my mom owes your husband 5 million yen, so instead of repaying the debt, I'm working as your daughter's tutor for free.
You must be kidding. My husband demands money, nearly 100,000 yen, every month to pay for your tutoring fee.
Huh. That money. At least I haven't seen that money.
I knew something was wrong. I am sorry, Yuki. Don't worry about tutoring today. Go home.
Is that okay?
And this. It's not much, but it's the tutoring fee we owe you so far.
This much? I can't accept this.
Don't worry about it. It's something nice with this money. I need to look into something new.
Her eyes were filled with anger, and I got scared, so I left her home. The next day, and the day after, I was told not to come, so I did as I was told. The wife contacted me with shocking news. It was so shocking I had to read the message 3 times. I was left aghast. Right at that moment, the landlord sent me angry messages to me, without knowing his wife was talking to me.
Hey, you! You haven't visited your future bride for 3 long days. What are you thinking? Do you want to pay back all the debt now?
Can you talk to my mother about the debt? I don't want to be involved anymore.
Don't be ridiculous. A mother's dead as her son's dead. You should be responsible for it too. What do you mean by you don't want to be involved?
I was told by your wife that I can just ignore you.
Huh?
Mr. Darashina, you've been lying to your wife, haven't you? That you're paying me money to be your daughter's tutor?
Did you say anything to my wife?
Yes! What happened to the 100,000 yen you demanded from your wife every month? The money you're supposed to be paying me with?
It's none of your business.
Let me guess. It turned into bags and jewelry you gave to a hostess girl named Saurine.
What are you talking about?
The reason why you told my mom to repay her debt all of a sudden is that you spent so much money on her, you ran out of money. You wanted me to marry your daughter because you thought I can pay your debt for you. You can't increase your salary overnight, so you needed another person to earn money. You came up with the idea of using your daughter, who got into a private school but did not want to study, to make me repay your debt for you.
How did you find out about this?
Not me. Your wife.
My wife?
My story was so different from what you told her, so she investigated it. She then found out you were spending a lot of money on a hostess girl. And also, you had an affair with my mother too, didn't you? For about 6 months.
Who told you this?
My mom is so careless, so...
You didn't tell my wife, did you?
She said she doesn't care anymore.
You told her. You fool!
I was almost forced to marry your daughter and pay the debt you made. So I can't be dealing with you anymore. Your wife told me to wake up from your lies. A parent's debt is the parent's debt. I have nothing to do with it.
Wait, what about my daughter's feelings?
I have a right to choose a girl I like. So excuse me.
Wait, please wait. Was my wife angry?
She was preparing to demand compensation for the divorce.
I don't have any money.
You can borrow money again from somewhere, provided anyone still wants to lend you money.
I'm begging you. Help me, Yuki. Can you lend me money?
I don't lend money to someone who has no intention of paying it back. After that, my mom sent me messages, non-stop, but I used the information the landlord's wife told me to shut her up for good. Because I had the lingering hope of being part of a family with my mom, I had stayed with her. Until that day, this incident made me realize that I needed to leave home. So I did. The new apartment I rented, Miss Nomaru, after her divorce, offered to be my guarantor. Her name is Nana. She became my guarantor, so my move went smoothly. During that time, I heard that Rena, who was spoiled rotten by her husband, decided to stay with her father. So Nana left home and moved back in with her parents. Little did Rena know that her father owed a lot of money. Mr. Darashina was banking on my money, so he told the debt collectors to wait. But his plan didn't come to fruition. When the debt collectors found out about it, scary-looking men visited his home every day. On top of that, since Nana left the house, it's become so run down, Rena dropped out of her high school and became a recluse. So both father and daughter are living on their own, scared of their own shadows. It's only a matter of time before they go bankrupt. My mom's situation is no better. The sole provider of the family has left, so it was only natural. She has no money to spend on gambling, so she borrowed money from loan sharks and has run away again and again. Her name is on the blacklist, so she can't borrow money from anyone. Yet she's not particularly attractive, so she can't even work in a hostess bar. I saw her the other day waiting in a line for a new pachinko shop to open. I realized then that I was living with a sick person. But what about me? Well, I graduated from university and got a good job at a big company. From now on, I want to associate myself only with good and honest people and be happy.
I'm Nene, a 30-year-old ordinary housewife. I want to tell a story about a disturbance between me, my sister-in-law, and my trashy husband. My husband Tatsuo and I are the same age. We met at work and got married 3 years ago. We wanted kids, but it wasn't easy. I was too busy with work when we first got married, so we didn't have much time for each other. We also weren't financially ready to have kids, so we agreed to start trying for a baby after we settled down. But after 3 years, just when I thought we'd settled down, our marriage had gone cold. We were going through so-called marriage fatigue, and essentially in a sexless marriage. I thought everything would get better eventually, but it just kept getting worse. Hey, can you come home earlier the night after tomorrow?
Why?
Ayami just called me and said she got a job offer, so I'm thinking of cooking a feast at home to celebrate.
Oh, I almost forgot she was looking for a job.
So you're coming, right?
I can't. I have a business trip on the day after tomorrow.
Business trip? Why didn't you tell me earlier?
Why do I have to get your permission?
That's not what I mean. You should have told me in advance.
What difference does it make? I still have to go on the business trip.
I'm not telling you not to go. As a couple, I expect you at least to keep me in the loop.
Are you my boss or something?
Forget it. I'll reschedule.
It's okay. You two can celebrate without me.
Is she not your sister?
Well, she'd already passed the stage of missing her brother.
That's not the point.
As I said, I can't make it.
Just like this, we constantly argue over small things. This kind of argument happens all the time through messages, phone calls, and in person. My husband's sister, Ayami, my sister-in-law, is 8 years younger than him. She's a senior college student and lives by herself near our home. My relationship with her is somewhat like this. Sorry, he seems to have a business trip that day. It's fine. I didn't expect it from the beginning. We're not that close as siblings anyway. Still, I feel like he's being too indifferent to your celebration. Not really. Siblings are like that. Is that so? I'm an only child, so I don't know what it's like to have siblings. That's why I'm so happy to have you as my sister-in-law. You're my sister now. Me too. I've always wanted a sister who's kind and good at cooking, like you. That's so sweet of you. I'll put in more effort into preparing the celebration dinner. Hope you like it. As you can see, I adore my sister-in-law. She also looks up to me. We've built a very good relationship. The following evening, my phone rang when I was preparing the celebration dinner. I picked up and was shocked by what I heard. I jumped in a cab and contacted my husband on the way. Did you hear what happened to Ayami?
Yeah, I just heard the voicemail from the hospital. An accident, right?
Yes. I hear she's badly injured. I'm on my way to the hospital now. When will you be there?
I'll take the first flight back tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Why don't you take the bullet train and come back today?
I have an important business meeting to attend.
Are you kidding? Are you going to prioritize work over your injured sister?
Didn't the hospital say the injury was serious but not life-threatening? There's nothing I can do even if I come back today. It's more than enough that you're here.
I just arrived at the hospital. I'll talk to you later. My husband had some nerve. I was going to reason with him, but I needed to make sure my sister-in-law was okay first, so I didn't say anything. Luckily, my sister-in-law regained consciousness after surgery, but she still needed more time to recover. Ayami was just out of surgery. She regained excellent consciousness too.
Excellent.
But because her legs are severely injured, she'll need physical therapy after. She also needs to use a wheelchair for a few years.
Wow, that's tough. She just got a job offer.
I think she should stay with us for the time being.
Why? She can go back to my parents' house.
But your dad is living alone, isn't he? Also, he's busy with work and has a bad back. I don't think he can take care of your sister.
I'm busy too. There's no way I can take care of her.
I mainly work from home now. I can take care of her most of the time. You only need to help when necessary.
Give me a break. I'm not letting someone who needs constant care live in my house. Absolutely not.
I wondered, how did he grow up to be such a cold person? Maybe I shouldn't say this about my husband, but he is the worst. Because there was not enough time to argue with him, I gave up on bringing my sister-in-law to our house. With the support of my father-in-law, my sister-in-law moved into an accessible apartment. Luckily, my work only requires a laptop, and it's convenient for me to work from anywhere. So, I decided to stay with my sister-in-law as much as possible to take care of her. It was a bit challenging because it was my first time caring for a patient with a disability. There were times when I made dumb mistakes. Hi, sis. I just finished my physical therapy session. Are you here yet? Oh, no, it's already time. I'm sorry, I was absorbed by work. I'll be there right away. I'll just chill at the lounge in the meantime. Don't worry, take your time. I'm so sorry, it won't happen again. Don't worry about it. You really don't have to push yourself so hard. I'm sure my dad can find a care facility with a shuttle service for me if I ask him. Don't say things like that. I know it can be tough sometimes, but I want to help as much as I can. Are you sure? Yes, I'm more than willing to do so. Plus, spending time with you is more fun than being with my stupid husband. You're family, so don't hesitate to ask for anything, okay? Thank you so much. Even though there were failures and every day was busy, it wasn't such a hard task for me. At the same time,
Hey, when are you coming home to do the housework?
I'll be back on the weekend. Is there anything wrong with the house?
You didn't clean the house and do laundry. It's a mess here.
Can't you do it yourself?
As a condition for you to work, you promised to take care of the house, remember?
But the situation is different now. It's a very challenging time for your sister, okay?
You're married to me, and you should always prioritize your own home.
Figure out the housework yourself. I can't believe you're asking me to do housework after you refuse to help your own sister.
I'm exhausted from work every day. Unlike you, I can't chill at home all day.
Say whatever. I won't be back until the weekend. Please don't contact me before then. I honestly can't believe his behavior. It's too late to say so, but I don't even understand why I married him. I was not going home until the weekend, but I realized later that I didn't bring enough clothes. I had no choice but to go home the following day. I didn't want to see my husband, so I went during his work hours. I opened the front door and saw the inside was a complete mess. Why do you have to be such a trashy person?
What? I told you yesterday I'm busy with work.
It's not about Ayami. I'm home now.
What? Didn't you say weekend?
I came to get a few changes of clothes. The house is so messy and dirty that it's shocking to look at. I kind of expected it, so that's fine. But why are another woman's underwear and so many crumpled tissues scattered in the bedroom? Oh, there's used condoms in the trash too. No matter how you look at it, it seems like an after scene.
So you already know.
Who was it?
A subordinate from work.
I see. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nope, but it's a good opportunity to tell you. Honestly, I'm thinking about getting together with her.
Sounds like it's been going on for a while. Your business trip was probably an affair trip then.
So what?
So you were unconcerned about your sister when she got into an accident. It's lame enough for you to use work as an excuse, but I didn't expect it was actually an affair trip. I underestimated how trashy you are.
Whatever. We're going to be strangers soon.
It's naive of you to think it's all gonna be over with some divorce papers.
What, you want compensation?
Of course.
You're such a greedy bitch. And that's precisely why I cheated on you.
I don't want to argue with you anymore. I'll see you in court if you refuse to pay. Is that clear?
Fine, I'll pay.
Well, I knew our marriage was over then if he wasn't having an affair. Not only was I not shocked by how things turned out, but I also found it quite laughable. Since I couldn't do anything about that unexpected anger, I had no choice but to accept everything. I went back to my sister-in-law's and contemplated if I should tell her. Eventually, I told her everything, because she'd find out later anyway. My sister-in-law was even angrier than I was. She said, "Let me handle it. I'll make my brother pay for what he did." Then she made a phone call. A few days later, I got a message from Tatsuo at just the right time.
Don't we need to discuss our divorce? Let's meet up somewhere.
It's fine, and I don't want any compensation. I'll send out the divorce papers after I sign them, and you should do the same.
What's gotten into you?
I just feel bad for you.
You finally learned to have gratitude towards your husband.
Not really. I'm feeling pity for you because you're about to lose everything.
What are you talking about?
Ayami told your dad everything about what happened, and he was enraged. He's going to sell the house we've been living in.
What?
Did you forget? The house is under your dad's name. He can do whatever he wants with the house.
Well, I guess it's okay to lose one or two houses.
It's not just the house. You'll lose your job too. After all, your dad owns the company you work at.
But I was supposed to take over the business in the future. I doubt he'll do something so extreme just because I cheated and divorced.
I see. You knew you were going to take over the company one day, so you did everything you wanted without considering the risks. Sure, an affair or divorce might not be able to affect anything,
That's right. It's a bigger problem if there's no one to take over the company.
but considering what you've done to your sister, even your dad couldn't forgive you for that. Also, he was pleased that I dedicated my time to looking after Ayami.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that you not only lost your job and house, but also are disowned and no longer entitled to inheritance. Your dad's going to hire me as his successor to take over the company.
You're lying, right? Is this a joke?
Why don't you ask him yourself then? So, my ex-husband lost everything overnight, and I had zero sympathy for him. The woman he cheated with got tired of him and dumped him immediately after he lost all his money. After getting kicked out of the company, Tatsuo became homeless and went missing. Rumor has it he's working a low-paid job at some exploitative company. I'm working at my father-in-law's company with an excellent salary. Now it's much easier for me to take care of my sister-in-law. We live happily together as best sisters and friends.
I'm Naoto Ubu, a high school freshman. I fell in love for the first time in my life. That girl is my classmate, Yua Hinomaru. She's a quiet and composed girl with beautiful long chestnut brown hair. I fell in love with her about 3 months ago. I couldn't take my eyes off her ever since. Despite being in the same class, we barely spoke for the first few months. I wasn't attracted to her until the school assigned us to make signboards for the school festival. Sorry, Hinomaru. I'm not very good at drawing. Hope I won't do anything stupid.
Don't worry, I'm not good either. I just enjoy looking at art.
The first surprise from Hinomaru was that even though she didn't talk much, she would tell me clearly what kind of drawing she wanted and what to do next. The communication wasn't always one-sided either. Not only did she listen to my suggestions when I didn't know anything, but she never once blamed me for being unable to do something. Gradually, I became fascinated by her charm. I never thought I'd pour my heart and soul into making signboards because I thought it was such a hassle. I think Hinomaru told me to make a large stroke here. Here it goes. Just when I made the brush stroke as hard as I could. Ah! I looked back and saw Hinomaru standing behind me, stunned with paint on her face.
This is amazing.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were behind me.
Don't worry about it.
But your face is covered in paint. While I was panicking, she picked up a nearby brush.
Here, now we're even.
I fell in love with her at that exact moment. After the school festival ended, my feelings for her continued to grow. Finally, the day of confession had arrived. I've liked you since the school festival. Do you want to go out with me sometime? I waited. 5, 10, 30 seconds. Maybe it wasn't that long, but each second felt like an eternity. She didn't hold my hand back or answer me. I looked up at her nervously. She had a confused look on her face. What I just did must have been a nuisance to her. I immediately thought so, but I couldn't take my hand back. She looked at my face and said,
I need some time to think about it. Is that okay?
"Oh, yes, of course."
Sorry.
Yay! It means there's still a chance, right? She didn't say yes, but she also didn't reject me. I was so happy and skipped all the way home. That night, I was in a good mood. Suddenly, I got a notification on my phone. Oh my god. Is it Hinomaru? I thought it was from her, but it was actually from another classmate. The sender was a girl named Yoko Yari. We talked for the first time at the school festival. She seemed like a robust and outgoing girl. What could she possibly want from me?
Hey, I think I saw you today. You were asking Hinomaru out.
What? Really? I didn't see you at all.
Since we're classmates and worked hard together at the school festival, I'll give you some advice. You shouldn't go out with her.
What is she talking about all of a sudden? Why would you say that?
She might look like a quiet girl, but she's famous for being a party girl behind the scenes.
Really? No way. I don't think Hinomaru is that kind of girl.
I'm serious. People have seen her walking in nightlife districts late at night.
Maybe she just happened to walk past there.
Plus, her mom runs a bar at their house. Seems like a lot of guys are going in and out all the time. You can already guess the kind of home environment Hinomaru grew up in, right?
Wait, why are you telling me this?
As I said, Naoto, I can't sit and watch you being lied to. You're a good person, and I don't want you to be sad.
I see. Thank you for worrying about me. But I don't want to suspect anything unless I see it with my own eyes.
Seriously, if you don't believe me, you can go to the city center and find a bar called MoniRobo. Go there around 10 p.m. You'll believe me once you see her with your own eyes, all right?
I was full of joy. All at once, I felt like I was being sucked into a vortex of confusion. Is Hinomaru really that kind of girl? There must be some kind of misunderstanding. I was so anxious I couldn't stand still. Please let it be a misunderstanding. I prayed and waited for 30 minutes. Is that? Hinomaru came out of the bar. On top of that, she seemed close to the young guy beside her. I was stunned by what I saw and forgot that I was wearing a disguise. I quickly ran up to her. Hinomaru!
Eh? Naoto?
She seems to be as shocked and confused as I was.
What are you doing here?
More importantly, who was that person? What are you doing here at this hour? Answer me!
I'm sorry.
Hinomaru was at a loss for words. She was almost crying as she ran off. After she ran away, I suddenly came to my senses. What have I done? This was the worst day of my life. I followed the girl I liked, then showed up in front of her, questioned her, and made her cry. I'm the worst. She must hate me now. I guess she probably will never forgive me, but I still have to apologize. The next day, I looked like a zombie after a sleepless night. Yoko Yari came to me and patted me on the shoulder.
So, was it exactly like what I told you?
Terrible. I was.
Don't mind, don't mind.
Why is she so satisfied? Hinomaru was apparently avoiding me at school, so I waited for her at the school gate after classes. Go ahead and say that I'm the worst or whatever. I already know that myself. Hinomaru? Ah! I'm sorry. Please don't run. I want to apologize for yesterday. I questioned you aggressively without listening to you yesterday. I'm so sorry that I was so senseless. Hinomaru looked at me with a perplexed face.
There's too many people. Let's walk and talk.
That was our first conversation today. Sure. I'm really sorry about yesterday.
I'm also sorry for running away.
No, it's completely normal to run away when you see a stalker, especially when the stalker suddenly starts questioning you.
Why were you there at that time?
I thought it was better not to hide anything from her, so I showed her the text messages Yoko Yari sent me.
Yoko Yari told you to come?
I thought she was lying at first, but then I got curious, so...
I see.
I'm so sorry. You have every right to be upset. I just have to apologize no matter what. Hinomaru stopped there and seemed to be thinking about something, so I patiently waited.
Naoto, are you free now?
Yeah. I'm free.
Come with me. I want you to see the real me.
Real me? What does that mean? As I was thinking, she began to walk towards the city center. Neon lights? Pink signs? Love hotels? Wait, did she mean... But when we arrived... Wait, isn't this where you were last night?
I'm working part-time here.
Working? A staff member of the store came out. Hey, wait! Do you have a shift today? It's the guy she was with yesterday.
He's one of the staff here. Our shifts ended around the same time yesterday, so we came out together.
Eh? Is this your boyfriend?
No, he's not.
Oops, sorry. After the staff member went back inside, Hinomaru walked further into the city center. I just followed her. I didn't know what to say. Where are we?
It's my home. My mom and I live here.
This is your house?
Come in.
I saw a pair of man's shoes at the door when we went in. They were placed neatly. Is the other rumor about Hinomaru true?
I'll answer the questions you're having now. Mom!
Eh? A beautiful woman with glasses and a guy in a suit came and greeted us.
Oh my! You brought a boy home. You should have told me earlier. Documents are everywhere here because it's the tax season.
Tax?
Thank you for taking care of Yua. I run a small store. It's a little hectic and messy inside. Don't mind me, okay?
Hello, Yua. Long time no see. Don't need to call me so formal. I'm just a tax accountant. I finally understood what was going on.
Let's go to my room.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Wow, the smell of a girl's room is so nice. Damn, what am I thinking? Hinomaru sat in her beautiful room. She looked straight at me.
My mom owns the bar. Yoko Yari was right about that. So because of work-related things, people like the accountant are always at my home. I'm also working part-time to help out. So I understand people might misunderstand me when they see me in the city center late at night. This is the real me. Are you disappointed?
No, of course not. On the contrary, I'm embarrassed that I made misassumptions about you. I'm sorry about what I did.
Actually, there's something I'd like to apologize for too.
About what?
This.
Is this?
On the same day you asked me out, she sent me messages. Hi, Yua. Did Naoto ask you out today? Did you see us? That's embarrassing. I don't mean to badmouth, but don't go out with Naoto. What? Why? Isn't he a great guy? No, he's pretending. I heard a lot of stories about him making girls cry behind the scenes. Really? But he said he's never had a girlfriend before. Maybe he doesn't even consider them as girlfriends. I don't believe this. Anyways, don't go out with him. You didn't say yes because you had a bad feeling about him. Not really.
What the hell is this? It's almost the same as what she sent me.
But you told her you wouldn't believe it unless you see it. I didn't do the same. To be honest, I was also suspicious of you. Things like this shouldn't happen at all. So, we're even.
Hinomaru,
It was my fault to hide my family situation from you.
it's not your fault.
Thanks, Naoto. I'm happy that you can understand me. I'm probably not good enough to be your girlfriend, but...
Why would you say that? Is there any other reason we can't be together after our talk today?
Well, because most of what Yokoyari told you was true.
But my standpoint was different. Even if Yokoyari's story was true, I would only be worried about your safety. That's how I looked at it even before learning the truth. Now that I know the truth, I have absolutely no reason to give you up.
Are you sure?
I can't be more sure.
Thank you. Let's be together.
I'm so happy.
Congratulations!
I won't forgive you if you make Yua cry, young man.
Mom!
I'll never make her cry.
Thank you, Naoto.
That's how we became a happy couple.
Naoto, are you feeling better now? You want me to cheer you up?
That's fine. I'm going home with Yua now.
What? Yua? You're going out with her now?
I asked her out. Nothing's weird here, alright?
How? I told you not to go out with her.
You sent similar messages to Yua, didn't you?
What?
I don't know why you would do such a thing, but Yua and I decided to trust each other and our own judgments. Also, your stories are far from the truth. You better stop spreading them around. It's for your own good, too.
Sue yourself, you gloomy dumb face. Sorry, did you wait?
No, not at all.
Was that Yokoyari?
Don't worry about her. I wonder why she did this, though.
I'm not telling you.
What? You know why?
It's a secret.
What's that supposed to mean? It was another joyful day for us. From now on, I only want to believe in my girlfriend who's right in front of me.